All right, guys. This won the vote. Amouranth is the biggest fraud on Twitch. Oh, man. Let's get her. Let's do it, guys. Oh, Amouranth. I don't know. I mean, it's like, to me, it's like whatever. I'm not a particular fan of her, but like, I don't care. Let's see what we got, though.
Is the biggest fraud on Twitch.
Whoa. Start over. Who?
Amouranth is the biggest fraud on
unexpected.
Twitch. You guys remember a couple months ago when Amouranth was having that situation?
I remember this guy. He's a handsome fellow.
With her ex-husband, where basically she told the entire internet that her husband was actually abusive, and because of him, she was actually forced to do OnlyFans.
Is that what she said? I don't remember the situation. I just remember that I think from what we saw, and this happened such a long time ago. It was like what was it? Sorry, I'm just parsing. Like, I've got to remember this happened like a year ago. No. She was on the stream and he was yelling at her in a way that was very toxic and sad. And I believe my take on it was like, hey, you probably, I guess do your best to escape, but also, again, you shouldn't be putting this stuff on the internet, I feel like, unless you really have to. I don't think, we really need to reintroduce boundaries for streamers and content creators on the internet, for real. Like, I don't think it's healthy to have the internet constantly weighing in on your stuff. That's not really helpful. It's actually just harmful. So yeah.
He actually forced her to be sexualized on stream on a daily basis, and this was all because
Is that what was part of it? I genuinely don't remember that. I mean, I could just be wrong, and maybe I was focusing on other parts. I don't necessarily remember that. Was it that he forced her to do OnlyFans, or was it that he was like super strict about it? It happened such a long time ago. I don't really know. Yeah, he was threatening her financially and her dogs. Yeah, I think that was the focus of it.
Of financial reasons, because this husband wanted to make a lot of money and he wanted to make it only for himself, and he used Amouranth as a tool to get what he actually wants. Okay. So I want you guys to keep in mind that Amouranth, she never wanted to do any of these naked streams, right?
I don't remember that. Am I fucking stupid? Am I fucking dumb? Was that part of it, dude? Okay, maybe I'm just wrong. It's been such a long time. I don't remember that part of the narrative. I really thought it centralized around him like screaming at her and forcing her to do things when she didn't want to. Not that he would force her to do it in general. Does that make sense? It was like he would make her do stuff when she didn't want to. Not that I don't think it was that she didn't want to do OnlyFans or whatever. It was more that like he would be very aggressive about it. But okay. Let's keep going.
She didn't want to stream on Twitch with absolutely no clothes. She didn't want to do an OnlyFans because Amouranth is actually a very good and wholesome girl.
Amouranth is using physical censor bar on Twitch. Oh, you should be banned for this. You should get banned for doing this. You shouldn't be able to put the bar sensor on there. You should take it off so we can all see. Just kidding. But you should be banned for this. I feel like this is too suggestive. You know what I mean? This is almost sexier than seeing her boobs, because I've seen them before. You can see leaks all over the internet. It's like, okay, whatever. Like, she has a tit job. It's not really very impressive, but this is the fantasy. It's like, oh my god, what is there? It's almost more alluring. So I'm being unironic here when I say this should be a bannable offense. I don't think that you should really be able to like implant this idea that you are actually naked on the stream. So.
With very good values and morals.
No, Boogie deserved to be banned for what he did as well.
And the only reason she was doing any of this was because she was forced to by her evil ex-husband.
Is that
okay?
Maybe.
Now, believe it or not, the absolute entire internet completely fell for this and believed her completely with absolutely zero proof regarding what she says because...
Well, again, but we had... Dude, it wasn't just she said a thing though, right? It wasn't just that she said a thing. There was a whole conversation yesterday attached to it. So it's not that like, oh, she just said a thing. Shut the fuck up, fool. Yesterday. Shut up. Shut the fuck up, you fat piece of shit. It was like this whole VOD where we like heard some stuff being said. I'm not going to re-listen to the whole thing. But it wasn't just like everybody took her word for it.
Let's just say what you think you heard. I'm going to say what I thought I said. But you can't enter your mind because I'm not going to interrupt you.
What are you saying? What the fuck did you just say to me?
You want to say it again?
Yes.
Will you leave? Because I'll say it 10 times.
Yeah.
I told you.
to me?
I mean, you can make an argument that the fact that she's doing this on the internet is completely unnecessary, and she might be putting up a performance trying to make him seem like he's an abuser. Looking back at it now, it's one of those things where we don't really know, because oftentimes in abusive scenarios, one person's abusive and there's like reactive abuse as well. So maybe she's like really like mentally torturing him. Maybe he's responding in like anger, which is always wrong, but then there might be more complicated than that. You know what I mean? Like, what if they just did it for attention? You know?
Oh, tell me.
Like, this didn't need to be on the internet, but I think she live streamed this.
Acceptable.
But I think he did say something like, I'll kill your dog. I think it was a little bit more, though, than... It wasn't just we all believed her.
I'm telling you, you're asking a question, I'm telling you, you're interrupting my fucking... I'm telling you, literally.
What are you saying? You just told me you were gonna kill dogs right into a 24-hour stream.
No, did not say that. Now you're just fucking being a liar.
I'm not just...
I said I'm going to tell you what I said in terms of the earlier. But you're still saying that I... Oh my god, dude. You said... Why are you pausing? You didn't ask a question. You said a statement. Did you say that?
No, I tried to tell you what I heard.
Did you not say that? Or you're saying you did not say that?
I tried to tell you what I heard from you.
Yeah, I
And you
don't
said you called me a liar.
Then you tell me, what did you say?
I don't even know what you're saying anymore.
Bro, here's what happened. I'm gonna start from the beginning. I asked you why, if there's a reason, because you insinuated that. Why would we only do threesomes with guys?
I don't want to do threesomes.
Oh my god! See this right here, this right here, this right
This
here.
whole situation, I just don't care. I don't... To be honest with you, I don't really feel bad for her in either way. We don't really know exactly what's going on. We see some kind of portrayal. I don't know if there's like a forced thing. We saw her on camera. I just don't care. Because I feel like there was no reason to come on and do this live in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, I tend to be less sympathetic to people who don't maintain solid boundaries. Like, oh, I feel bad, I guess. I think there's some text messages here that we got, kind of. I'm just scrolling through to get like a little revamp. How the fuck long is the car ride? Streaming lag so bad. This is fall. Massive fail. Massive fail. The fuck are you doing? Next time when I say a plan, do it. Son fuck. Dumb fuck. Okay. If this is actually him, that is pretty bad. Let's be real. That would be pretty bad. Do you understand? What plan are you talking about? Fuck you. Okay. At this point, she's obviously like talking in a way that'll like try to get him to say more stuff, which is fine. Blah, blah, blah. He goes on a meltdown. Okay. I think we get a treatment. Let's just see what else is. Let's see what the meat and potatoes of this.
She started crying on stream, and who can resist a grown woman crying?
Me.
Shout out to
It's
Optimus for these clips.
You make multi-millions of dollars. You want to burn it all to the ground because you're a sure, whine about it. I don't give a anymore. I'd rather be broke again and deal with this shit anymore.
Ah, of course, that's right. Amouranth would actually rather be broke than actually sit on a Twitch daily humiliating herself with having her chest out on stream. That is completely beneath her.
Again, I think that my understanding, there's actually two aspects to this, because this just seems weird. The tone of this video is bizarre to me. Both videos, her crying and his video. Well, there's two aspects to this, though. One is the aspect that, to me, was communicated to me, and maybe I'm misinterpreting, but what was communicated to me more was that she didn't like the heavy pressures that he was putting on her. Not that she didn't necessarily want to do the thing. And number two, you could argue, like, let's just say, and I don't know how much I believe this, but I want to bring it up. I like to bring up all the arguments that I can think of. Let's say that she was forced to do this thing, and then like she got like something that was humiliating and embarrassing and upsetting to her, but she got so used to it, and her boundaries got worn down so much that it became like the normal status quo. Just bringing up counter arguments. I want to bring, because there's something weird about this situation.
Okay, she would rather be broke.
The therapist even told him that it's a form of like psychological abuse, and that
Okay.
and basically
He sounds kind of like what's his face from It's Always Sunny. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Not Mac, not Charlie. Dennis.
the fancy prison, and then he was changed for a bit, and then the hot tub meta arose, and he was like, "Oh, this is an opportunity," and then he turned into an asshole again when I agreed
so divorce
to
him.
commit to the grind because it was a good financial opportunity for us.
Ah, yes,
Okay.
this whole
Is
hot
this Glenn?
tub meta that she pounced on. It was her admitting to commit to the grind because of her husband, right? She didn't want to do this topless hot meta or whatever the
What's
hell.
the Did she say something that exposes her, or is this just like going back to the moment and changing our minds. Like, what's this?
Innocent princess, guys. That's what I want you to understand. Amaranth had no part in any of this.
Okay.
And I don't have to wear cleavage every day. I can wear clothes.
Okay.
Master has given Dobby a sock.
Oh, yeah, cancel her. I'm done with her. I hope that. I honestly, at this point, I hope he was abusing her. I'm just kidding you. But Harry Potter fans deserve to be maybe pushed gently off of a small step, like a 2-step staircase. Stumble a little bit. Just kidding. Okay. Incredible stuff. The cringe is real. Cringe is the greatest sin on the internet. You can't be fucking cringe. Dobby is free. Oh my god. Stop.
Dobby is free.
Oh, she doesn't have to wear cleavage every day, guys. Oh my god.
All right, what's the expose? Everyone's cringe here.
But now she's completely free. She put on a sweater and said that, hey, look at me, guys. I don't have to do this anymore. Acting like Dobby from Harry Potter, which is actually hilarious.
What's the exposure
I'm finally
part?
free. The absolute entire internet fell for this, okay? Notably, we had big commentators like Ludwig making videos saying, this is so horrible.
Okay. Shut the fuck up, dude. Said the Disney adult. Shut up, dude. Shut the fuck up. Are they just trying to say because she does the black bar thing that she must be lying about the whole thing? Because that's just stupid. I'm sorry. It is just stupid. There's also conversation to have about the fact that she has, like, let's say it was true and he was abusive and whatever. We don't know. She might just, like, feel more empowered because it's her choice. You know, I don't like Amouranth. Like, the last thing I saw was when she was like taking a picture with a fan, and he like put his arm around her shoulder, and then she decided to disinfect herself. He's like, oh, armpits. Oh, this guy's gross. And it's like, you can do whatever you want to do. If you want to like put on disinfectant or whatever, that's fine. But to do it on the camera for a show is just rude. It's obnoxious. It's shit behavior. So I don't like her. But like maybe there's more here. I'm just saying it doesn't. Okay,
I completely believe her.
But it just doesn't
Everybody
seem
should
like
support her as a victim, right?
Maybe there's a thread here.
Amouranth is someone who I've called one of the hardest working humans on all of Twitch for years now. You should
That's
also
not saying a lot. I feel like internet. It's not. I used to work a real job, so that was harder than this.
so support Amouranth as a victim. And there are a few people online who are taking the situation to shit on Ammo, and I think that's just dumb, to be honest.
Anyways, the situation with the husband is
crazy.
pretty complicated. He was like screaming at her on stream, and basically there was a bunch of interesting text messages or whatever, but I'm not here to talk about the specifics of that case because I don't know.
Lely Super chatted $5. If being sexy were a crime, then you'd better lock me up because I have 5 dead children in my basement.
Okay, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I don't know what the fuck that was, dude. I don't even know how to parse through that. I mean, Jesus, you guys are unhinged sometimes. I love you. Okay.
Screaming at her on. Anyways, the situation with the husband is pretty complicated. He was like screaming at her on stream, and basically there was a bunch of interesting text messages or whatever, but I'm not here to talk about the specifics of that case because I don't know both sides. I only know what Amouranth told me, and now I know that Amouranth is a proven liar because after she got a divorce and now she's in complete control of all her accounts, there is no shady business there. Amouranth is in complete control here. She's no longer a sex slave or whatever. Nobody's forcing her to show her body on the.
All right, this is art. You're being stupid. Now you're just being intentionally dumb as fuck. You can't go, hey, there's potentially a lot of abuse. That you can go, I don't want to cover it because it's very complicated. That's perfectly reasonable. But that entire complicated scenario of her dynamic between her and her ex-husband is 1,000% relevant to what she's doing now. You can't go, hey guys, we're going to throw the abuse part out and we're not going to engage with that intelligently. We're just going to go and look, oh, look, she's doing a new bad meta. She should be banned, by the way. That's my, You can't just disregard all that context. You're being stupid. It's quite possible it was all a ruse. It was all fake. It was quite possible that she set it up in a way to make him look worse than he actually is, to get social and public pressure onto him to make the divorce easier and get him to take a deal that was less money. All these things are absolutely possible. Because this way they can just kind of move on with it. That's possible. It's possible it was all a ruse. It's also possible that everything she's saying about him is true. It's also possible, probably more likely, that there's somewhere in the middle that we don't really know the specifics of the context of. When she uses words like force, I don't know. We don't know. And that's fair. But so you can't throw that. You can speculate whichever way. I've given you plenty of speculations. But you can't just say because she's doing black bar meta, she was lying. That's stupid. Like you should. That's a stupid thing to say, and it should be embarrassing to you because it's a very unintelligent take. Like just be like you can't just say. You can say, hey, listen. Looking back, I am a little questioning of her crying. It seemed weird that she decided to turn on the stream. I'm pretty sure she started streaming it. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure she did. I think there's something that rubs me the wrong way about her turning on the stream. Maybe you'd say some of the text messages, the way that she was interacting back at him, seemed like she was fishing for information. It didn't seem like genuine. I think maybe she was even weaponizing tears. You could say all these things and then go into, hey, I have speculations about this. But this is obviously not what you're doing. You're saying disregard all the very necessary and relevant context and just say, hey, Amouranth lied because boobs. Because that's all this boils down to. Yeah, the black bar meta is shit. She should get banned for it. But you can't disregard the whole story based on just the fact that she's showing her tits now. Because like we said, if her story is true, maybe she has just more agency and autonomy over herself. And I look fucking crazy. And she just feels better now. Maybe she just feels more in control and she has more confidence doing it. Maybe she's just used to it, so she's enjoying it from that capacity. There's a lot of different things here. So, come on.
Internet or be a hoe, and she's not going to run out of money or anything. She was a top earner on OnlyFans. She has multiple businesses. She's invested. She sells her goddamn vaginal yeast, okay?
I would too, brother.
I think she's good for life, 5 billion generations over. Now, turns out the internet,
maybe not quite that many, but
as usual, has an attention span of a goldfish, and literally just like weeks after her is saying all these things about her husband and basically saying that the husband forced me to do all of this, she went back to the OnlyFans, back to the topless sort of streams, the hot tub sort of streams, and radio silence from the entire internet. Nobody bothered to do an update on this because that would sort of go.
Well, you didn't either, right? You decided to update on this because Optimus was bored looking for content to make and made probably just as bad of a video that was not particularly intelligent. Hey guys, she was lying. Or maybe they're going to show us something and I'm going to look like a fucking idiot.
Go against the entire narrative that everybody wants to push, that oh boy, men are evil, women are always good, women can do no wrong. Absolutely.
Sure, some people push that narrative and it's stupid, but okay. This to me seems like an overcorrection away from that argument of all men are evil.
Amouranth's not doing this out of her free will. She was being forced to by an evil man. There was no update on any of this.
Who hurt you, bro? Come on.
Ludwig then make another video saying, well, look, Amouranth is back doing her titty streams, Jesus Christ. And just saying, I was one of the only ones who knew she was lying all along. Call me lie detector because I can sense the bullshit.
But you don't know that she's lying because you won't engage with the actual information. You can't. This is the problem. Because this is a reasonable assertion. Because you refuse to kind of parse through the old information and have a stance on it. You refuse to have a stance on the abuse allegation. Because you refuse to have a stance on that, you didn't know anything. You made a guess, and you still don't know. You looked at Amouranth and said, I'm going in the opposite direction. You didn't engage with the content and say, you want to know what? These different things bother me. Because you could, if you did that, I would have been like, okay, maybe I would disagree, but I'd be like, that's fair. At least you engaged intelligently with what you're doing. But you just said no. You just said no, and then said, we can't talk about the context of the potential abuse, which could be fake, by the way. That's perfectly fine if you look at different aspects. Like I said before, again, like the fact that she's even making it live and all that other shit. You know, you can talk about weaponized tears, anything you want. Make an argument. You don't make an argument. You just say she's lying because she showed her tits, but you don't talk about anything else. Like I said, quite possible that now she just has freedom over herself, so her making the choice feels better. That is a mental thing. That is an emotional thing that people will engage positively with. You're not forced to do a thing now. It's like if somebody, worked under a content creator and they had to make content for this content creator and they're like, oh, this guy's forcing me to do these things I don't want to do. And then afterwards, you don't work with them anymore. So the stress and the pressure is gone. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to continue to work the schedule. Turns out the stress wasn't because of what I was doing. It was because of the person I was working under. Like, come on.
When someone speaks. But now she made an absolutely grave mistake here, and she pushed it a little too far. She joined
that part I agree with. She pushed it too far, but
the
nothing shows
censor
hypocrisy.
bar meta on Twitch. One of the reasons people really hate this sort of stuff is because it is pedophilic by nature.
Okay. Come on, dude. Everybody is fucking insane. It's pedophilic by nature? What the fuck are you talking about? She might have young fans. Absolutely. It's not pedophilic by nature. Okay? You know how easy it is to look at fucking porn? Oh, are you 18? Yeah. Oh, you don't have to. I don't know if you guys know this. You don't actually have to be 18 to say you're 18 and look at porn. If this is pedophilic by nature, so is Pornhub. I'm just saying. Is it inappropriate? Sure. I would say that this is generally inappropriate. I mean, here's my one thing. I don't know about Amouranth's stream. I'll go check it out right now. Here's everything I think that she needs to do. First of all, again, I think that this black bar thing should be banned, but here's everything I think that she needs to do. She needs to she needs to say that you have to be a certain age to engage with her content. Does she do that? Does she do that part? If she does that, I don't know if she does that. That's about the expectation I have. But pedophilic in nature, dude, you're buzzwording so hard. You're buzzwording. You're this crowd that canceled Carson for talking to a 17-year-old at 19, calling it fucking grooming. Like, dude, this is insane. Come on. Stop. It's pedophilia. The internet is full of emotional people like this person. You're so emotional. You're using a word that you feel is adequate when it is objectively not. And you can come up with half-ass shit arguments as to why, well, kids might be watching fucking porn. I was watching porn when I was like 13, dude. That doesn't make it pedophilic by nature. Okay? And I don't know what to tell you. I agree that a lot of it seems to be inappropriate for Twitch. Like, again, this black bar thing, I think is too suggestive. I think it implants too much of the idea that she's naked underneath. If your argument is, I don't think that it should be on Twitch, I'm fine with that argument. Like, I think that's a reasonable argument. Hey, I don't think it's appropriate. But understand that Twitch is allowing it, and it's because of money. All right? Kids are always going to look at fucking tits and boobs and wieners and shit. It's just going to happen. Like, no young boys going into that stream like, wonder what this person's doing. You see her big tits, and the young boy's like, I want to jack off to this. Okay, this is, and like, young kids, I was jacking off at fucking like 12 or 13. All right? Pedophilic is insane, dude. It's fucking insane, bro. That's insane, dude. You have to, this is insane. Does everybody say that you agree? Oh my God, people are agreeing. That's insane. The internet is fucking done for. It doesn't matter like what side of the spectrum you lean onto, you are fucking done. This is insane. Come on, man. You don't really believe this, right? Like you're crazy. You're fucking crazy, man. Come on. Take a deep breath. Be proportionate in your criticism. I gave you the pathway to do it. Oh my God.
Because Twitch is a 13 plus website and majority of the users on Twitch are under 18. We're basically
sure. And just to be clear, that doesn't make her a pedophile. That's not even what pedophilia is. Just to be clear, you know.
All these grown women are trying to capitalize off the minors on the website. And
I think they're just trying to make money, bro. You could call it inappropriate, and that's fine. But like you're assigning an intentionality. That's the problem. You're assigning intentionality explicitly to take advantage of children. That's the problem. Right? Like that. If you didn't do that part, it would be much better. If you're just like, this is very inappropriate. I think that this is like a pathway to getting young boys hooked onto paying for levels of porn. That's fair. If you wanted to say like, hey, listen, I think that there's an issue with young men, 13, like young boys, 13 to 17 at this point, getting exposed too quickly to pathways of pornography that can rot their brains, desensitize them, and cause them to be financially dependent on paying for porn, because there's something that can be empowering about paying for porn. You know, some guys like to pay for porn just because they feel like, oh, look, fuck you, like I'm buying you. It can teach very bad boundaries. It can teach bad morals. It can be not as empowering. It can set young girls up to almost feel like pressured to make porn. It can create an environment on Twitch that makes all girls who go on there maybe possibly feel pressured to show off their tits, or else they may not be valued as much. It can harbor an inappropriate, toxic audience of guys that don't respect women. All this is fine to say. It's fine to say that. It's fine to say you don't think it should be on Twitch. That's fine. But you're not saying that. You're calling it fucking pedophilic in nature. Come up with good arguments instead of just being upset. You know, and if I'm being charitable, maybe you feel this way and you don't know how to articulate it. Maybe you have this intuitive feeling and you don't know how to articulate it, and you're expressing it in the terminally online way of just saying everything's pedophile bullshit. But dude, you got to think a little more critically here, because this is insane what's happening right now. This is fucking wild. We've become unhinged. We've actually gone goblin mode. How often does it happen? I don't know. I'm not sitting here saying that that's my argument. I don't really care that there's tits on Twitch. It just doesn't matter to me personally. I don't have like a heavy investment into it. It's not something that I care too much about. I'm not like interested in that. I'm not interested in like sharks. I'm not interested in farming. I'm not interested in a lot of things. I don't care about them. I don't care about bees. We need laws to protect things, you know. But like I'm not interested in it. But there's some arguments. There you go. There's some arguments. If you guys want to be like, oh wow, here's a real thing to criticize Twitch and Amouranth for, you know, go for it. Just give me a decent, fleshed out argument. Don't give me just some dumb bullshit like this.
And increase their revenue that way, which is absolutely immoral. This type of content should obviously only be on adult websites where you can confirm the users are 18 plus.
Okay, I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to go to Pornhub. All right. It didn't even ask me if I was 18. Wait, is that because I've been here before? I don't look at porn on my computer, so it's not because of that. Well, here's the thing. Is this just not ask you anymore? What the fuck? Does it ask? It doesn't even ask you anymore. It doesn't even ask you your fucking age. What are you talking about? There's no accurate way for them to figure out if you're looking at porn or not. I'm going to click on a video. It's not asking me my age, Mom! Mom! Jesus Christ. Wow. All right, I'm currently watching porn. I'm not doing that. Yeah, so there was not nowhere did it ask me even the age. Just to be clear. And if it ever does ask you, it's as easy as saying, okay. I think there's one website that will actually force you to upload your identification. Okay. But like we need to stop pretending that like fucking porn sites are so secure. Because they're not. Honestly. Maybe you want to talk about the parasocial relationship activity as well, you know? But I'm just saying, dude, you know, you could, argue that this is the wrong introduction to sex. That's perfect. That's great. There's so many arguments that you're just not looking at. I wasn't watching porn on stream. I was joking. Okay.
We got a tweet from Dixerto saying, Amouranth is using a physical censor bar on her Twitch streams. Here we got a quote tweet from Optimus saying, remember though, her ex-husband was the one forcing her to do all the stuff for the finances. She was being sexualized against her will and didn't even want to make this kind of content to begin with.
Can you guys show me where she says that? Because I've never seen that claim at all. I don't remember that. And like, can you, if Optimus dug through the video, like, is there a video of her saying that?
Guys, I'll be honest. After I saw everything from her and the pictures that were
scrolling through here, it looks like there's no video of her even making that argument. So, like, is there a clip? This guy said he used Amouranth's. Where's the clip of that?
Broke again.
Millions of dollars.
She just says like, "Oh, I would rather not be abused." Whatever, and I'd rather be broke instead, whatever. What is this?
Being a hot tub streamer.
The therapist even told him that it's a form of like psychological abuse.
Okay, none of this supports this idea that she didn't want to do it at all. The original narrative, you have to show us that. It just shows us that she doesn't want to do it for the amount of time. I mean, this is not that this matters. I'm doing way too much like actual digging up on something that these people obviously don't give a fuck about.
Posted, I felt for her.
She tweeted what? What is it? What are her specific words that she tweeted? Okay, if she tweeted, show me that. I want to see that. You have the tweet. Can you show me the tweet? I would like to see the tweet. Because specifically, I want to see, I would really like to see the tweet. It still doesn't, like, I want to parse this information correctly. Is it recent?
And hope that she would stop.
Now I don't have to do this kind of content anymore. Okay, sure. I mean, do you have the, let me see. How do I fucking find this? Now I don't have to do this type of content anymore. To me, it still doesn't I'm trying to find it. I have to see it myself. To me, it doesn't prove, like, I don't know what we're disproving. Because are we disproving that he was abusive? Because that doesn't do that. Are we trying to prove that she was never forced to do it? Because I already talked about how, like, there was a different, like, it could possibly just be the fact that he was being so abusive to her. right? Like I said before, you know, she might have thought that the stressor was the fact that she was doing this content, where the stressor was actually her being forced to do the content, not having agency or autonomy over herself. I just don't know what she was forced to do. Her saying, I don't have to do this anymore. Yeah, it's different than I don't want to do this anymore. It could just be more of a statement that she's free. It just seems like this whole thing is a pearl clutch, this whole video.
Stop this, be a normal streamer and happy. Now she's just tripling down being an object, no respect for her. It's
okay, 1, 2, 3. I just want to. Where's the tweet?
Actually insane.
Do they show the tweet in this video?
How people are justifying this? Like, she was literally wearing a sweater and saying that, oh my god, guys, I don't even have to show my titties anymore. And now she's showing the entire thing, dude. Literally just nude over there. The way people are justifying this is like, oh yeah, before the husband was forcing her to do it, so that's why it was abuse. And now she's doing it of her own volition, meaning it's completely okay. Like, no.
Well, that argument does make sense. Just to be clear, it makes sense. Just having agency over yourself. Yes, it's a pretty big mental deal. Yeah.
Oh, she literally said she's uncomfortable with this type of content and was being forced to do it, dude.
Where?
That makes no sense.
I missed something. Am I dumb?
Even though I helped you make multi-millions of dollars, you want to burn it all to the ground because you're a sure whine about it. I don't give a anymore. I'd rather be broke again and deal with this shit anymore.
I'm just
okay
when she says this interesting little tidbit here.
Hunter shares another clip from Amouranth.
Where should we continue saying she was a single? Okay.
Amouranth stream and says he forced her to continue saying she was single and commit to being a hot tub streamer.
Maybe he did.
The therapist even told him that it's a form of like psychological abuse and that I'm basically living in a fancy prison, and then he was...
I'm trying to find an actual reasonable argument here.
Changed for a bit, and then the hot tub meta arose, and he was like, oh, this is an opportunity, and then he turned into an asshole again when I agreed to commit to the grind because it was a good financial opportunity for us.
Very interesting claim. It's almost like people would hear that, and they would automatically assume, right, like, oh, this husband saw these other fucking girls on Twitter. Council.
Sorry, I'm
as
just
of today,
going
though,
to
I
clips.
have access to all of my accounts and finances again. He's not here. He's getting help. And I'm seeking legal and emotional counsel.
Yeah, it really sounds like a situation somebody really wants to be in here, bro. You know?
What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, I don't see the validity of these claims. It's honestly like dumb. It just seems dumb and uneducated. Like, hate Amouranth. There's plenty of things to hate her for. Like, it's totally fine. I think she's a bitch. But this whole thing is just unnecessary and, like, doesn't prove anything. These are easily explainable. This is so stupid.
I'd respect her doing what she's doing now a lot more if she didn't lie about it and just said, yeah, I like showing my body off for money attention. Like all of these people who were doing this on Twitch, I'm sorry, they have an extremely broken moral compass, okay? You know who's watching that sort of content, and to
You're right, they're actually raping children. Guys, we have to ban Amouranth. She's a child rapist.
Pretend you don't. To put a blind eye to it is absolutely insane. I had a bunch of people...
It just sounds like you don't like sex work, which is fine, by the way. Hate it as much as you want. I'm not even sitting here saying don't hate it. There's a lot of good arguments to make. I'm not, that's not my point. My point is that you just hate it. So now everything is about supporting your narrative. That's it. Like, that's why this whole weird, like, just silly perspective is here. That's easily explainable. She's happier now that she's not, and this is her logic. Again, she could be lying about the abuse. I don't know. She's happier now that she has control over her own life and she can do things that she wants to do rather than being forced to do them. So she has like agency and autonomy over the time that she wants to do it, what time, how long, when. She can stop when she wants to. She's not going to get physically braided. She doesn't have to live in her fear anymore. That's the argument you can. That's the argument that's not a hard argument to come up with. Why does she need to tell you about it either? It's so weird.
In the comments of my last...
I feel bad for a lot of these young men on the internet who are never going to mature because they are financially sound and popular when they were kids. And so now, like, they don't have an actual incentive to grow, learn, and change and become more intelligent. That's just the unfortunate reality. That's what it is. People are growing up like later and later, especially in Western countries, because we're less stressful to even live here. And now this is the primary point of like this is what really is banging. This is what really is mattering to us. They're just not going to emotionally mature. I think that they're still stuck in the year that they started getting popular. It's very unfortunate. It's just very unfortunate.
Last video saying majority of Twitch viewers are 18 plus, and they showed me the analytics. They gave me that Casey Tron treatment where basically she'd pull up the analytics of a website and be like, hey, majority of users are 18 to 24. Any literal minor on the internet signs up as 18 plus on a website.
What's funny about this argument is it's one, true, two, it shows like cognitive dissonance in his argument. Because before he's like, it's not like he said like at least porn vets it out. No, I just went to fucking Pornhub and they didn't even ask me my age. That's number one. Number two, people lie. I would say that as long as her stream says it's for mature audience or whatever, that's as much as she can do. And if your fucking parents see you jerking off to that, they should say, hey, you can't do that anymore. That's about as far as I would go. I also question though, like, from the money argument, how many of people under 18 really have enough money to be donating it to her? I would imagine it's older guys that have money, or guys that are 18 older or whatever, that have jobs donating the money. I mean, right? It's whatever.
Because you get access to absolutely everything. Every single person lies about their age on social media. We know kids
on the internet in general
are watching Twitch because it's a gaming website. It's a place.
Not really anymore. I mean, it has the most gaming, but at this point, like, I feel like gaming isn't even the most. There's a lot of like live stream stuff. It's changing drastically. The landscape has changed a lot. There are still a lot of young people, but again, this is a very inflammatory argument in here.
It's where people want to relax and watch their games. Majority of viewers on Twitch are minors. If you cannot accept this fact,
like Just Chatting has 500,000 people watching it, so that's a lot. Do you think that this could set a bad example for people in abusive partnerships by airing out issues as they were happening? I'm looking at it from, you should keep this shit off the internet. I don't think that she should be airing this out. Again, like, content creators have huge boundary issues when it comes to a lot of their shit. I think it's very inappropriate. What percentage of this of Twitch is fucking WoW has 50,000. Just Chatting has 500. Is this in order? No, not recommended for me. High to low. Yeah, I mean, dude, Just Chatting has a massive amount. I don't think it's half, right? Like, not at all. But I would say at least 20%, 20 or 30% is not that. It's still very heavy, but that's a lot. I don't think it's just a gaming website anymore. It's very different now. But okay.
You are absolutely fucking insane. It's all his fault, guys. Proceeds to do it anyways. Am I still an evil pig if I think it was an elaborate attempt to boost engagement?
If you think that, I understand where you're coming from. I said that before. I gave you the argument for it. I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but at least that's an argument. At least this guy is like, I'm going to think about what you're saying. At least he parsed through the information and went, when you look at this optically, maybe she did it for attention. Because we know that, like, OnlyFans girls do. Ruby Rose, she just did a whole fucking elaborate ruse for attention. And getting negative engagement as an OnlyFans person does not have a negative impact on you. That's something that we see. That seems to be the fact. It doesn't matter. If anything, any engagement is going to be positive for your growth. You could argue about that sometimes with YouTube stuff, but I feel like it's a little different. People are looking to just jack off to you. So if they see you and they want to jack off to you, they don't even have to like you. But I've seen like a trend of OnlyFans people doing that. So maybe she did do it for engagement. I don't think so from what I've seen. I'm sure it's more complicated than what we are seeing. I don't think that she should have brought it to the internet. But if you looked at that and said, I don't like the fact that she talked about it online, it doesn't seem necessary. I don't like the fact that she's crying on there. It feels like, she's trying to orchestrate evidence for a court case. I don't really know. Maybe it's reactive abuse. At least you're thinking about it. Even if I disagree. At least you're thinking about it. But these guys aren't even thinking about it. He's just like, I just don't even want to talk about the most relevant part of this story. I'm just going to say it's all fake. How do we know Ruby Rose lies? I think that it was a lie mostly because I think you're limited to either $100 or $200 donations a day to OnlyFans girls. And the screenshot we saw, my understanding, was that he gave her like $30,000 through OnlyFans. I think that was actually the picture. I believe that was. So you literally cannot do that. I could try to find the thing, but that's my understanding. Maybe it wasn't that. I'm pretty sure it was like a picture of like, oh look, I gave you money through OnlyFans. I'm trying to find the picture of it. I think it's like over here maybe. I think that's what this is. It's like, hey, look, I gave you like a bunch of money. It's now up to like 95,000. I'm pretty sure with that picture, that's what that was communicating. So I think that's what the biggest thing that got me, that it's fake. It looks like she was only, no, I don't think that you can even give that much money to somebody at a single time. How much, I didn't know about that at the time. How much can you donate per day on OnlyFans? You'd think I'd be an expert. Just kidding. Okay, so you're only allowed to spend up to $500 a day on the platform, and this is limited, is increased for users who have been on the platform for, okay. Yeah, there seems to be like there's a cap. That's the only thing that you really need to know about. So.
Now listen, I want to be perfectly clear here. I am not commenting on the husband situation. Maybe
you have to.
He was actually abusive. I am not commenting on
you
that. All I'm saying is Amouranth.
You have to, or you can, or your commentary is worthless here. You have to. You just have to.
Is a proven liar at this point.
No, she's not.
She has a proven track record of being a liar. Meaning
she is a shitty person, by the way. Like, I think that there was this whole interaction where she was at a gym and they're like, "Hey, can you stop recording? Other people are uncomfortable," and she gave him a problem. She is a shitty person. Absolutely. I agree with that. But you haven't proven anything.
She lied about one aspect of that situation.
No, she didn't.
Could
You
she
didn't show
have
us
been
any of that.
lying about the other aspect or misrepresenting scenarios? Yes, she absolutely could have been. Now, I don't know enough. I don't know both sides, so I'm not going to speak on that. I'm not going to say she's lying about that specific case. But I know what she did over here, and she was definitely lying about the fact that she's not comfortable with doing OnlyFans and her husband.
Oh, I didn't even see that argument. Again, it just seems like she wasn't comfortable with him doing it. And again, even if she said she wasn't comfortable with it in general, sometimes people just misinterpret their feelings, and the uncomfortableness might have been because she was forced to doing it instead. It's a very normal, just a never very normal thing somebody might engage in.
Forcing her to. Now, obviously, the only other people other than soy boys who would actually defend this behavior is other like OnlyFans type of chicks here.
You gotta like, it's only soy boys disagree with me, guys. Only soy boys disagree with me. Come on. No, people. This is the thing: is that most people disagree with them, and they write a lot of these guys off as like immature people who shouldn't really be giving commentary on things that really only realistically speaking, like the only people that engage with these people are like children. There's no actual informed, reasonable take that's coming from this. Other than like a gotcha. That's all it boils down to. So most people are just like, it's not worth engaging in dumb internet drama because it's stupid and nobody really respects what you have to say anyway. You have like a lot of people watch this, but theirs aren't really people that are worth anything because they're young and they don't really have a lot of life experience. They're very immature. Like, that's mostly what's going to happen there. But like, it's just all soy boys. I mean, bro, come on.
Here, you have no idea.
He said he'd kill her dog. That's why he's abusive. Bro, killing dogs is not abuse. Shut up. Fuck you. Kill the dog.
Idea what went on in her personal life, and it's obvious you're putting Amouranth on blast because she's famous for attention.
There's probably a level of truth to that.
What?
There's also probably a level of truth to it that she's also a shitty person, so that's part of it. But
actually cares that she continued to do what she did. Why would she stop if she's successful? I'm happy for her not being controlled by a man. I've been in that situation as well. Shame on you. How absolutely delusional. When the truth,
it's actually not a bad take that she has.
Truth is presented in front of your face and you choose to absolutely ignore it. You choose to turn a blind eye to it and you keep going on with your own random narrative you've constructed in your head.
Yeah, it's only abuse if you don't eat it after. I agree with that.
And is that not insane? Is that not absolutely insane? Okay,
is this guy Mudahar's brother though? All jokes aside.
Just going through Ludwig's second video on this and looking at the comment section here. I can wear clothes. That quote alone genuinely made me want to cry for her. Amouranth wearing a sweater she likes is such a small thing, yet such a huge moment.
Listen, I don't watch Amouranth streams. Maybe at the time, or maybe in general, like she would not be able to not dress sexualized or something, and she didn't have control over herself. That could have been. I don't know. I don't know why I'm giving this any more mental attention. I've said what I had to say.
I don't know if anyone else noticed, but the amount of videos made and support shown for Amouranth is actually so nice to see. I just think.
What age do we have kids receive technology? Probably pretty early, because technology is the way of the future, and if you don't teach kids how to use technology, they're not going to have like a really solid intuitive understanding and grasp of it to the point where they'll be able to use it like very easily. So you just have to monitor it. But like young kids need to engage with like iPad, like even iPad. It shows using the interface. You think it's silly, but using an iPad interface makes you more comfortable and able to figure out more complicated technology as you get older. You just have to monitor the amount of time. So like I would limit it to like an hour a day or something. You don't want them to get addicted to it, but you want them to have an intelligent relationship with it.
I think it's so funny how
Did she stop doing it for a while after her boyfriend left? Oh, that might be true. Yeah, sure.
Entire internet can be so absolutely
Maybe, yeah.
easily manipulated.
Yeah, you're one of them, brother.
And fall for a narrative so easily just because of a few crocodile tears and a carefully crafted story.
So it sounds like you think she made it up. That's fine. Just say that. So this is kind of like a coward's game. If you think she made it up, that's fine. Say it. Just be a fucking adult and say, I think she made it up. I think the crying was intentional. I think streaming it was intentional. I think that she shouldn't have put that on the internet, and I think it was manipulative. Okay, we could work with that. But he's like, I'm not going to weigh in. And then at the end, he throws in, I think they're crocodile tears, which means that you're saying that they're fake. It's a coward's game is what he's playing. He's too afraid to say what he really feels because he's afraid. Like, you should have a little bit more self-respect. Make your take and like have your take. Put your take out there. Don't pussyfoot around it. Just say, I think she faked it. Okay. I gave you the I steel man that argument in the video like 5 times. Okay, I don't. I still think it's inappropriate. I think that there can
Jamie
be.
Moore became a member.
Hey, thank you so much for the membership. I think that there can be a conversation about intentional or unintentional sensationalization of what was happening to her because she introduced the internet to it, and a conversation about how over-affirmation or under-affirmation can have a drastically negative impact on you and make you feel like you're more of a victim than you actually are. That's a very real thing. If you look at people in the past, people used to get beat really bad by their parents, and people say, well, that's just the way things were, right? Because society was under-affirming abuse. So people just coped, and they said, yep, it just is what it is. That's fine. That happens in opposite directions. We see all the time. People sensationalize and over-validate other people's problems, and they create trauma in somebody's brain, especially when they're vulnerable. Excuse me, I thought I muted. That's another problem on the internet that happens all the time. You see it constantly. So have those conversations, right? That's what I think maybe more of it is. You know, but what the you're being bizarre and unhinged.
This woman has zero morals. She streams on Twitch naked to literal
zero morals, guys.
13-year-olds.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sorry, I cannot have any sort of
I wish I was 13 right now. This way I could jack off to this because I was fucking jacking off to anything.
Sympathy for those types of people. I know people try to think that, oh, these are just strong, independent women just getting their bag. I'm sorry. If you do it on adult websites, sure, whatever. But if you're doing it on Twitch routinely after getting banned tons of times, abusing the
Did they ban her? I mean, they unbanned her, so that they think this behavior is fun.
rampant sexism on the platform, the lack of enforcing the TOS, and trying to line your pockets from underage kids, getting them addicted to this sort of content as well. It's insane. And you know what's the best part about these?
Again, you can have the take that you think it's bad, but you're assigning intentionality. You're trying to make it seem like she's like a predator and she knows the negative impacts of showing her tits on Twitch. I would argue she's fucking dumb as fuck. She's a very stupid person and probably has no understanding of any mental health, anything, or the negative impacts that could potentially come along with doing this. That's what I would say. So, okay.
Situations, you'll have people like Pokimane who pretty much speaks out about every Twitch-related problem all the time, like, you know, gambling and stuff like that. She'll call it out, say how absolutely immoral it is that you're getting kids addicted to gambling and stuff, but conveniently be completely silent regarding the extremely viral topless meta, the censor meta. This has been going on for literal months now, and not a peep out of her. Anyways, guys, that's basically it. Let me know what you thought.
Maybe she doesn't care. Not everybody has to care about everything you care about. Okay, cool.
Thought about all of this. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Amouranth.
Why are we engaging this video? I don't know. I thought there was going to be an actual intelligent point here, but, you know, fuck me in my butthole.